Welcome to Frequency Matters, the RF and microwave update. I'm Pat Hindle, and I'm here with my co-host Kristen Anderson. Last time we discussed our January issue, which had a couple articles on metamaterials, so check that out if you haven't seen it before. And now we move on to February issue, which is themed for high-frequency boards, components, and systems. And we have a very interesting cover feature there, a new thermoset PCB material that rivals PTFE-based laminates is introduced, and it has the performance of the PTFE laminate, but also the manufacturability of traditional PCBs. So it'll be interesting to see how this affects the market. And then there's a few other technical features in there. There's one on high-Q dielectric resonators, the second one on EM filter design, and a third one on GaN MMIC design. So lots of good technical content, so check it out.
Nice.
How about the products?
This month we feature 3 products that I want to tell you about. One is the COMSOL Multiphysics 5.0 release, which introduces an application builder. And what this application builder does enables the engineer who created the simulation to design a simplified user interface using a set of parameters specific to a project. And then he can share that application with others who can then update and test new parameters without involving him again.
Right.
Which is nice. We also cover Freescale's 125-watt GaN HEMT, which covers 1 to 2700 megahertz. So this is a device that can be matched over a much wider frequency range, obviously requiring fewer amplifiers and transistors.
Oh, great.
Nice feature. And third, we cover the Mari Microwave and AMCAD Engineering IV-CAD Release 3.5. This measurement and modeling device characterization software is said to be the most complete commercial solution to cover the design flow from the component to the circuit to the system.
Yeah, integrating things into single systems and single software interfaces is a trend that we see. Yeah. And our MVP is ANSYS' new release for the electronics desktop, and it's release 16.0 for them, and it features HFSS and an integrated 3D EM component library. And what it also does is it integrates many tools into one environment, so it allows the engineer to be very productive and utilize different tools, because no one tool can meet all the needs, and you're able to access all of them in one environment. Really improves your productivity.
Very practical.
So yeah, that's, COMSOL has their release, ANSYS has their major release.
All in the magazine.
A lot there, and we've also seen the trend toward interoperability between these software. ANSYS announced last year that they're interoperable with NI-AWR. Of course, Keysight has a whole host of tools that's all integrated within their environment. And also CST has announced a lot of interoperable tools in the filter and antenna design area last year. So that's really a growing trend to make everybody more productive and your simulations more accurate.
Excellent. Good stuff.
How about if we move on to news?
Sure. Me first?
You first.
Okay, it was announced this week that Infineon and Hella, a German automotive supplier, they have introduced 24 gigahertz automotive components. These innovative RF components, they're for a radar sensor that will reliably monitor the blind spot in a car's rear section. And it's Infineon's MMICs, what is that, microwave monolithic integrated circuits.
You got it.
It's Infineon's MMICs that are the key components that ensure the higher precision to detect and signal the objects that are in the blind spot. And this is reminiscent of another announcement recently that Sivers IMA had launched 77 gigahertz radar sensors that would answer the need for measuring distance, depth, speed, and position in different products in different harsh environments.
Yeah, that's a real thing. It's been going on for a long time, where the high-frequency millimeter wave radar units for automotive applications to be able to, autonomously drive your car is kind of the futuristic thing that will come out.
You've got one of those cars.
Yes, I have it on my Volvo, the
there you go.
autonomous cruise control.
Excellent.
Love it. So what I noticed in the news, of course, the acquisition train just keeps on chugging away. CommScope announced that they'll be acquiring TE Connectivity's 3 businesses, so telecom, enterprise, and wireless, and they're paying $3 billion in cash for it. So this really makes CommScope a giant at close to $6 billion in sales when they finish this acquisition.
Yeah.
The other thing that caught my eye was Transform Japan and Fujitsu Semiconductor announced that they have a 150 millimeter wafer fab compatible with CMOS processing for GaN. So the GaN on silicon is going to be used for high power switching applications. A lot of people might ask, what does that have to do with RF? Well, if the RF GaN on silicon people can utilize these CMOS lines, they'll be able to greatly reduce the cost and increase their scale to be able to attack some of the markets that GaN can't compete in today on cost. So
Wow.
we look to see if that really plays out.
Excellent.
And how about events?
Events is always tough to talk about with events, and we have several calls for papers we wanted to make sure everyone knew about. Right away, February 9th is the deadline for the European Microwave Week Conference.
Right, so not much time at all. I got to
for
get those
papers.
in.
Yeah, go to eumweek.com if you want to submit a paper there. But other shows upcoming have deadlines, like February 16th for NEMO, N-E-M-O. And I'm going to tell you what that stands for.
Okay.
The Numerical, Electromagnetic, and Multiphysics Modeling and Optimization for RF, Microwave, and Terahertz applications.
I thought that was a colorful little fish or something.
Yeah, well, that would be nice. But this is February 16th if you want to submit a paper for that show. March 9th for ISPSD, the International Symposium for Power Semiconductor Devices and ICs. And in the not-too-distant future, May 30th for Comcast. The International IEEE Conference on Microwaves, Communications, Antennas, and Electronic Systems. So these are all highlighted on the coming events page of the February issue, if you want a reminder on that.
Yeah. Yeah, so I was really bummed out. I was supposed to go to DesignCon, and then that's when the big snowstorm hit the East Coast. So we got over 2 feet of snow in the Boston area.
You weren't going anywhere.
Yeah, I couldn't get out, and then I couldn't get out the next day either because the airport was shut down. So I had to scrap my plans for DesignCon. So I was disappointed in that.
Yeah, it's a big show.
Yeah. Well, hopefully I'll be heading out to Mobile World Congress in early March in
Good.
Barcelona. So that should be interesting to see what's going on in
Yeah.
4G LTE, 5G research, and what's new on the handset area. So
Excellent.
hope to catch that.
Excellent. All right, well, that about wraps up this episode.
Yep.
We'd like to thank our sponsor, Mini Circuits, online at minicircuits.com. We'd also like to thank you for watching. We hope you'll join us again for the next episode of Frequency Matters.